Hello, everyone. It's Susan Winter here, and I have another interview that I am really excited about with a Miss Universe contestant. Yeah. So now that I said Miss Universe contestant, where did your mind automatically go? Be real. Catch that thought, because I'll tell you where mine went when I got her publicist's email coming across my desk, and I see this magnificently gorgeous woman, and I look at her Instagram page, and I see that she's written a book, Love, Hope, Light, and it's published by Simon and Schuster. I'm thinking, oh, isn't that sweet? And then I caught the thought, the inculcated, sociologically pressed in information that was given to me as a female that says, oh, if you're beautiful, can't be intelligent. If you're beautiful, can't be kind. If you're beautiful, you can't be deep. You have to be vapid, especially if you have a gorgeous Instagram and TikTok page, right? This is my discussion today. Beauty, depth, love's purpose in our lives and how it catalyzes our soul purpose. So today I am thrilled to have with me Angela Martini, former Miss Universe contestant, to tell you about her life, her journey, how she came to her book, and how love propelled her through every step of the way. All the links will be in the show notes. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you for having me, Susan.
You're welcome, honey. I know we have a lot in common. We're talking about spirituality, we're talking about soul purpose, but I want to start right off the top. As a beautiful woman, have people underestimated you?
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Okay,
All the
do
time.
tell. What has been your experience?
I mean, it has been an experience that I'm always underestimated about everything. I mean, it's a human nature to be underestimated, not only for beautiful women, but in in even different situation in life, they always underestimate, we underestimate each other. But in the same time, this has been my superpower.
Ah,
Because I use that for my own advantage because people expected less, so I got ahead,
great.
especially in certain difficult situation in my life. They didn't expect that, and that was for my benefit. In
Well,
that.
you didn't set out to be a beauty star. You had a whole different story. Can you take us there and take us up to the point that this started to happen for you?
So basically, I was born in Albania and in ex-communist country,
Yes,
and it was very, very poor country.
yes.
And it came to the moment that it was civil war. And the moment there was civil war, I came in a day that people started, some people wanted to kidnap me. And even at the time, I was, I think, like 9 years old, again, underestimated me because my mother prepared me all the time that I'm not gonna fall for an ice cream or for a candy. And people gonna say they will know my father, they will know my mother. And that's how my life started. I was in Albania. I didn't know I was poor. I didn't know I was a poor country. I had the most beautiful childhood until the civil war started. The moment the civil war started, they tried to kidnap me. I screamed, I realized, I ran away. That's the moment my life changed, and I moved with my father to Switzerland.
Wait. Angela, what would they kidnap you for sexual slavery? What would they kidnap you for?
At that time, it was or sexual slavery. I mean, I was 9 years old,
Oh my God.
or for your organs. So it depends for what were you good.
Oh my Lord.
So in that moment, yeah.
Yeah, just the everyday occurrence that we all have. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it was either way
Yeah,
was good. And I
right.
was only 9 years old. And I
Yes.
remember I saw the guy pulling me and being so nice. And I saw when I was walking, I saw another car was Mercedes with three other guys
Right.
and gold change
Right.
and
Right.
like long hair. And then I
Hmm.
realized, hold on a second. So
Hmm.
I bit his hand and then I screamed and all the neighbors came and that was it. 2 weeks later, I was in Switzerland and I never went back to Albania until I was 18 years old.
Now,
even one time.
this is an incredible story. And I know because we've spoken previously about walking through the airport. This is where I think we have a blueprint for life, little dots that are preferred that we would meet these points. But
Mhm.
there's also self determination. When we hit that point, what do we do? What action do we take? And you had an intersection. Something happened to you that changed the course of your life and actually brought us to where we're speaking about this today. Could you share that with everybody?
Yes, so when I was 18 years old was the first time I went back to Albania in vacation. And the moment I arrived at the airport, that was the moment that I was actually my life changed. That was the moment actually my life changed. And when I went to the passport control, the policeman said to me, "Hold on a second, you're Albanian." And I said, "Yeah." "Have you been in Albania?" I said, "No, since I was 9." So I
Yeah.
was a little girl.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah.
18 years old. And then he said, "Wait a second." And he went away. And he said, "Wait a second," came back and he said, "I have somebody on the phone with you." And I'm like, "Who?" I was thinking, I'm getting in trouble. What did I do?
Right. Right.
Every time I come
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
there's some drama with me here. And so it was the Miss Universe organization of Albania. And they say, the policeman said, "I must see you. And I really have this honor to meet you." And that's how it happened.
Wow. That's
But
incredible.
Susan, there is a fun fact. When I was in Albania growing, I was always doing Miss competition, Miss school, Miss class, Miss block. So I always knew it, kind of. It was not like
Hmm.
out of the blue.
Okay.
I always had this passion, but when I went to move with my father and live in Switzerland, this was absolutely a no-go for my father. He
Okay.
hated. He was doing everything in his power that I don't go in this direction until I went to Albania and again this opened up.
So we're talking today about divine intersections in life. This propelled you. Did you go on to modeling? When did the modeling happen? Because then you came back to
Um,
America, yes?
so when the Miss Universe happened, I always like when I met them, I didn't agree to do it. I said I want to go to America and I want to be a model. And that
Okay.
was my goal. So
Yes.
I rejected that until I was 24 years old because I went for my own way, what I thought was the best. So it didn't happen until later. I went for my modeling way.
Okay.
And then when is this famous Albanian and American photographer, Fadil Berisha. And he's like a legend. He's the one that helped every Albanian. Besides other Albanian, he shot every celebrity in US and around the world. And he was telling me that you should do Miss Universe Albania, you should do Miss Universe Albania. And I said, no, 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 until I became 24. And they told me, we have no Miss Universe Albania. And in 2 weeks, it's Miss Universe. So you have to represent your country. And that's
Okay.
how it happened. I had zero preparation.
This is fabulous. Okay. So all this time, I want to weave this into what's coming to be your love story.
Hmm.
And where does the love story come into this? Because you fought 6 years for a man you love at great personal
Hmm.
expense.
So the love story starts way later.
Okay.
Way later. So I was a model, went to New York. I did Miss Universe Albania. Did my own first bikini line. Everything. It started. I was in US, and the love story started based on my astrologist. That
Okay.
I used to live in New York,
Yes.
and he told me he did astro mapping because I'm a
Okay.
lot into astrology
Okay.
and I'm a lot into spirituality. And that's the thing I did when I was in New York, besides modeling. I
Okay.
was opening every book, everything about spirituality, and I was saying there must be something more about life.
Yes.
And my astrologist told me, you're in the wrong place. Your love is in California and Los Angeles, so you have to move there. And that's what I did.
That's a leap of faith. That's a
Yeah.
real leap of faith.
Yes, and he told me the year and the month when I'm going to meet my husband. And this is exactly what happened for me. This is not hocus pocus. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
for real what happened to me. So I get the signs of the universe
Right.
and I follow them.
Yes. Many people are not attuned to them. I mean, they don't just come to, I mean, Angela, honestly, they kind of knock on your door profusely. I mean, between,
Because I look for it.
oh, okay. So
I
you already
look
have that
for it.
energy of consciousness open that you're looking for
Yes,
signs. Oh,
correct.
that's important. That's important to, because a
I
lot,
am open about it. I
okay.
for it. It doesn't just like I'm just lucky. No, I look for it, I feel it, I want it, and I say, God, give me sign, help me, universe. What am I not seeing? What am I supposed to see? What is my life lesson? What
Good.
is my goal? Where am I supposed to go?
Right. So when you met this man,
Mhm.
how did you meet him? What happened? And tell me about the 6 year journey.
So I met him in his house, exactly how my astrologist told me. He said he's going to be in a big white house and it's going to be through something through work, which he was celebrating a movie deal he just did. And he did a party, and some mutual friends invited me. And the moment I saw him was in his kitchen. And that's the moment we looked at each other and I had the feeling like a feeling of home,
Okay.
not the butterfly
Yeah, yeah,
that people talk about it and the nervous,
yeah.
but the feeling of home and calm. And it was weird if we will not be around each other.
So there was a real magnetic attraction for both.
Yes. Yes. And then I was like, oh my God, the astrologist was right. But I couldn't tell him in that moment. I
Well,
told
yeah.
him way later.
So you stayed by his side and fought for him. We had that in our private discussion. Do you care to talk about any of that?
Yes, so basically, I married a successful Romanian guy. He's originally from Romania.
Mhm.
It's interesting because I'm from Albania,
Yeah,
Romania, but
yeah,
two
yeah.
different countries, languages, everything different. And everything was like a fairy tale love story until he had a problem with his country and he was convicted abusively. And there were many people that went to jail, and only him didn't go to jail because we decided to fight. And it was a long fight of long 6 years. Long 6 years. And even
During
to
during
fight
this,
the Secret Service.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me about that.
I mean, it was during that time, like I had no idea that this will happen because
Yeah,
I grew up in a country like Switzerland and US. And for me, I was like, if you're innocent, you're innocent.
right.
It's nothing else can happen. And unfortunately, it wasn't like that. He was wrongfully convicted because he was doing business 20 years ago with a mayor that they were after the mayor, but
Oh,
whoever was involved in
okay.
that business cannot convict only the mayor. It has to
Got
be
it.
everybody, so everybody will pay for it. And I remember it was a very difficult moment because we received the news in midnight and we were in Italy. And that's the moment I realized life changed and I have a decision to make to stay next to him. And my life, I have to drop every dream, including my own freedom, because that means my life is over as well. And I don't know if I'm helping him, we will succeed or not, or I'm going my own way. And I remember I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, what is this life? Just to show it to other people that you are amazing, not to your own soul. And what is life if you don't fight for love, what is worth it? Just for your likes, for your what people think you're happy, or people think you are great, or people think you're amazing. But between you and the universe alone, what is the reality? Who are you? And so I saw it as a sign of God that I was being challenged to do that. And I said, okay, then so be it. Me and him against the world.
Right.
And that gave me actually a motivation of power.
Isn't that amazing? So you were fighting for him. Did you feel an extra surge of energy because it was for somebody other than yourself?
Yes, and especially for love. I
Yep.
think love is the biggest superpower.
You are so right.
And when that love comes and the biggest superpower, and you hate injustice, because I really hate injustice. There are people that say they hate injustice. But for me, I go in that level that I think I'm karma. Like I believe I am. Like I have to be karma.
Yeah.
And it came a strong superpower that it was almost like I forgot I was in real life and I was thinking all the time. Remember everything you learned in spirituality.
Mhm.
Think about this is a movie. Think about how you want the end story. Think about how people will be normally weak or selfish. But what about if you teach something else? Because for me, there's nothing bigger than love. Everything else comes after. Love is the most important thing. Not to pay your bills, not your career, not your party, this. And of course, love is easy when everything is good.
Right.
But the real challenge is when it gets hard. What do you do then?
Did
And I
you
was tested for 6 long years. I thought it might be 1 year, but it was 6 long years and multiple times.
did you give up modeling, acting, everything, whatever you were doing?
I
Everything?
gave up everything, including US.
Okay.
Everything. I gave up everything. I was not with friends. I was not going to US, only that I had to do some things.
Hmm.
Going back, I gave up my family, my life, and I said, okay, me and you against the world every single day. And it was every single day, anxiety, stress, fearing for your life. Because remember, he had a conviction and he had a warrant.
Jeez.
So it's not like, oh, we are fighting and he has no warrant in the meantime. In the meantime, he has a warrant.
Hmm.
Meantime, we are fighting that he doesn't go to jail any minute, any second, and they removed him from my hands. But I remember when this happened in 2019, when I gave an interview, I said that as long as I'm alive, nobody will ever touch him. And I really believe that power.
From the girl who bit the hand of the man who was trying to steal her, again, you bit their hands nice and hard. Oh my goodness. Angela, you are so right. Everybody believes in love as long as it's simple and easy.
Is it my? Oh my God, sorry. Sorry, it's from the laptop. Sorry.
So let's go on to, I want to talk about, these are the personal challenges and the resilience. I want to talk about your spiritual life, Bessa, Kabbalah, because I was telling you that I started Kabbalah back in 1997 when nobody knew what it was. I went in,
Exactly. You
and
are the OG.
I went in a station wagon from I think it was East 55th Street location in Manhattan out to Queens to Rabbi Berg's basement, me and all the guys with the Hasidic Jews. I looked so different. I mean, I had real hair. It's like it was, I didn't have the wigs. It was a whole different thing, but I was very much drawn to it. So let's talk about the wrapping of the understanding of love and spirituality and how they've entwined themselves for you. And you talked about Bessa, and I want to hear about that.
So, Bessa is an Albanian ancient code. It starts from 1800, and people took that very serious. It means a promise, and it's the word of honor.
Mm,
So you don't need a contract. That word means bigger than anything.
okay.
And that I used it multiple times as well in the 6 years with my husband and other people. And my husband was shocked. He was like, oh my God, what is that? Like, I love Albanians. It's like when it comes to
Mm,
this loyalty,
yes.
we have a very strong loyalty. Very strong, like, okay, if you are our enemy, better not. But if you're our friend, it's really like we go above and beyond. And Bessa was used as well in World War II. Albania was the only country that was more Jewish people after the war than before the war. Not even one person was betrayed. And that's the only country in Europe.
Mm,
And they took the BESA to heart, including the whole country, giving them passport,
mm,
teaching them the languages, putting them in their family. And Albania was a poor, small country, but still they were there helping them and even being afraid of the Nazis themselves. And they
yes.
put their own family in danger, but they still will not betray. Not even one single Jewish person was betrayed.
It's beautiful.
And that's today why Albania has the key to Israel and the support.
Oh,
They
wow.
don't need the visa, yeah.
So your
It's a code of
commitment,
honor.
so your commitment to your partner in a
Mhm.
time period where everything is so transient, people are together 2 years and then they ghost their partner because they don't want to talk about it. This is a pact with yourself and your higher self that you
Yes.
make that is beyond any kind of written agreement, any kind of legal agreement, any kind of ring on your finger. You
Yes.
must have blown your husband's mind. He must have not, he must have thought you were sent directly from the heavens. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's very grateful. Yeah, I mean, besides me, he loved all the Albanians because I got a lot of support from Albanian friends because I will just call them and I will say, I need you tomorrow here, and they will not ask me for what.
Wow.
And they just knew I have a problem and that happened. And yeah, it's a promise for my higher self, for the universe. Like I always imagine how is it to be naked in front of the universe, just me and the universe. Not the ego that I put in
Hmm.
front of other people, the image they think about me. Because
Exactly.
you can put the image in front of the world, you're the most amazing person, but behind doors, you keep failing.
Yes.
You are not that amazing. And for me, it was always more important. Okay, let people think that country that me and my husband are the enemy. Let them think that. But I know what I'm doing in front of the universe.
So you hold yourself to a higher code,
Yeah,
internal code,
yeah.
completely separate from the outside world.
Exactly, because I know that this life, we don't know where we came from in this life. We don't know why we're here. We don't know where we're going. Nobody knows.
Mm,
You can read how many religious books you want. Nobody truly knows. Your own truth is the moment you make it for yourself and you experience yourself.
mhm.
And so far, I don't have those answers. So I know something is a game or something is going on. So I know it's a life lessons that I had to do it.
Oh, wow. This is okay. This is so beautiful. So I want to talk about the book. I know you've worked on it for 3 years. I'm assuming this is the culmination of this entire story
Mhm.
about being strong, being fearless. Are you, does it in any way show people how to find their Bessa, their version of Bessa?
Yeah, it's a bit of the best in the book, but the book was written before my husband's story. Actually,
Oh, oh my
yes.
goodness.
So the book is more about me and my mother because my mom was
Ah,
my inspiration all my life. And she was the most positive woman I ever met in my life.
mm. Okay, so let's talk about that because I know you're going to you're
Yeah.
writing the second book now, but let's go back to Love, Hope, and Light.
Yes, so the love, hope, and light was like me, how I saw my mother through my eyes, through when I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
and through the separation we had when I went to Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a woman that struggled so much and had abusive husband, poor, divorced and married multiple time in communist time,
Mm-hmm.
time that was unheard.
Yep.
People were judging her. She was a chemistry and biology teacher. And she had my brother with another husband before me. And then she got my father 10 years younger than her. And she was doing things like Elizabeth Taylor, but in Albanian communist time that was on her.
I love her already.
Yes. And I remember the struggle and the pain she had, but she never showed it. She was always positive, always smiling. I never heard her complaining.
Mhm.
She was never being, she never felt this pain that other people were judging her. She was living her unapologetic, her
Oh.
own life. And today, even at that time, she was saying, I'm going to find the third husband. And he's going to be or American or Swiss. And she was there with me and my brother with two different husbands in Albania and making $60 a month. And she was at 46. People were saying, are you crazy? And then she said, just watch me. So that manifestation she
Mhm.
was using, not just with the words, but when she was saying that, that was with the power of emotion. And it was based on the love she had so much and she wanted to share. And she made it happen. At 47, she found the love of her life. She went to Switzerland and she started her real career at that age and created a project that is called Drita, means light in Switzerland, helping over 2,000 women and won an UNESCO prize and so on. So her story was the one that inspired me and gave me that strength because even in the situation years later that happened with my husband, I never heard my mother once saying, my poor daughter, what happened to you? What did he do to you? I cannot believe you're in this situation. She was always telling me, you got this. You know that, right? You got this, right? I know you're tired. Go to sleep, recover yourself because you got this.
She's great. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
To
So
have,
we
yeah.
never knew the victim part from her.
So that was the basis for understanding and how to go through this, seeing this incredible role model who's achieved
Mhm.
so uh, being under the communist bloc. I know Albania had the roughest of all the journeys, I think, and then just to come to this point now where
Mhm.
she's helping so many others. And then you
In
went through,
Switzerland. Yeah,
yeah, and then you went through your odyssey with your husband and all got sorted out in the end.
finally.
So,
Actually, it got completely sorted out 1 week ago. Completely,
no,
completely. Yeah.
no,
Yes.
no, and we're just having this discussion right now.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Completely,
congratulations.
officially 1 week.
Oh, congratulations. There's this beautiful, oh my goodness. Oh my God. So, you know, your journey has taken so many different roads that a lot more than just the pretty girl on Instagram with the beautiful photos of her hubby and her lovely life. As you look at life's intersections and you have this attitude of, let me stay attuned, let me stay aware. As you walk through this segment of your life, where would you like to find yourself next? What's calling you now?
What is calling me now? It's definitely sharing with other people.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a short interview we're having right now, but there is so many lessons I learned that I feel like I got the tools.
Yep.
And there are so many people, especially women, that will a lot benefit from it. I think like people grew so much being like, oh, that's what my parents told me. That's what I
Right.
learned in school. That's what I heard in my environment. That's how life is.
Right.
They don't know that there is so much behind it. And you only can learn that really if you are in non-stop tension, unfortunately, and in the hard moments, but to be aware of these hard moments, what is the lesson? And right now, what is bringing me, I have a project with very close girlfriends of mine with women that soon I will be talking about it, but it will be a lot influencing in the world.
This is one of the beautiful things that I loved in our conversations that I wanted to bring about is that I believe that these things that have happened, the challenges in your life that have been so great, I have a personal belief that the greater the challenge, the greater the possibility for alchemy to
Mm.
take that and transmute that to its highest ability. I mean, anybody who's had an astounding, dramatic impact on the world has had an eventful life.
Yeah, and people don't see that.
Yeah,
They
you
see
don't you don't want an easy
the
life. I mean,
yeah,
so when you're in the middle of the challenge, if you can remember this is forging something, but this is like you might as well have it tattooed on your forehead. I mean, you're like, oh, a challenge. Here we go. I mean, most people don't have that. They're like, oh God, I don't want to go through this. I feel like
Mhm.
such a victim. How could this happen?
But the worst, I always say to my girlfriends, I say that imagine you're getting a needle, a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
The more you are tight and nervous and you don't want it and you're tense, the shot's gonna go either way and it's gonna hurt. So you just have to relax and go through it. Because the more like you're gonna say, oh, it hurts, it hurts. Well, more you tense, the more it's gonna hurt. The shot has to go either way, you like it or not. So you have the choice.
Oh, that's so cute. I think this is so beautiful. You know, I have often tried to explain to people that in the midst of their greatest pain, there exist the seeds of their greatest
Yeah.
possibilities. But it's really hard when you're in the middle of it to say, okay, I know it's going to be great. I know there's something fabulous because the human is going through this experience. The observer is looking at it, realizing what we know on a spiritual plane, but we still have to go through it. And so, as we are wrapping up today, can you give us a couple takeaway points? I know you've got a whole thing coming up that you're creating, but give us a couple of life lessons that you'd like to impart with our audience today.
Oh, this is hard. So my life lessons might sound crazy, but astrology is real.
Okay.
I use it as a tool.
All right.
I'm not talking about daily astrology, your personal one. Life lessons is real. Not everything that happens to you is for you to grow, but it's up to you how you want to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And my life lessons has been that has helped me a lot is to understand even when bad things happen and they are repeating, what am I supposed to learn out of
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to learn out of it? And the other life lesson is that I will say was a lot that don't believe everything you think. You're not all you. And that I learned in Kabbalah.
I think this is so beautiful. I love your attitude toward life, and I think it's really inspirational. You are certainly not just another pretty face. And I really have enjoyed our private conversations as well as this conversation and shedding light on a different perspective and way to look at life's challenges from one who's really been in the thick of it. And I especially love that it has been wrapped in love, that love is that's your thing, that's your motivating, that's your fire, that's your fuel. I
Yeah,
think that is so exquisite. Plus, I've really loved learning about Bessa. I think that is just so beautiful.
thank you. And it was so nice talking to you, Susan. And you are not just a pretty face neither.
Thank you, Angela. It's so sweet. Everybody, all of Angela's links for social, for Instagram, TikTok, everything, websites, books, they'll all be in the show notes. You have been listening to Angela Martini, a lovely lady with a deep message. And I hope that this has resonated for you as much as it has for me. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you.
Bye-bye.